image.
Associate sponsor, Frederic Constant Geneve.
Hello and welcome to Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 6. I'm Pooja Kanwal and you're watching part 5 of the semi-final round. 15 teams from India's premier institutes are battling headfirst in this prestigious marketing competition, and only 3 teams will move on to the grand finale from here. Today, our final 3 teams, Team Citrus Blast from FMS Delhi, Team Scoobies from IIM Ahmedabad and Team Hullabaloo from IIM Kozhikode will make their presentation to the jury. And the challenge for our teams, laid out by HUL's premium ice cream brand Magnum, is to create a strategic action and calendar to grow the brand in year 2 and to create a growth plan that is in line with recommendations on the 4 Ps: product, promotion, place and price. First up, Team Citrus Blast. Welcome guys. You know the rules. 3 minutes to make your presentation. Give it all you've got. Ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now.
We spoke to consumers, experts and undertook secondary research to understand the ice cream and indulgence food category. For consumers, an ice cream stands for a sweet, occasional summer dessert. Consumers exhibit loyalty to flavors, typically depicting a routinized buying behavior. Impulse purchase in the category is driven by variety-seeking behavior and moods. Magnum, on the other hand, is perceived as an expensive chocobar with functional and not emotional benefits being the biggest purchase driver. Also, pleasure for an Indian consumer is all about breaking the rut in life and getting an instant respite from responsibilities. Premium indulgence foods in the ice cream, chocolate, coffee and the biscuits category focus on emotional benefits such as experience, luxury, dream, reward and fantasy. Consumers don't try Magnum owing to the high price barrier, limited flavors and presence of alternatives, while in the decision-making process they compare Magnum against other ice cream brands.
With international product variants such as Magnum Gold in Southeast Asia, 5 Kisses in France and Australia, and different brand propositions such as pleasure seeking in USA and sexual indulgence in France, brand Magnum has adapted itself to the socio-cultural realities of these countries. We therefore propose that facets like value for family and relationships, inclination to seek approval, and nascence of hedonism need to be taken note of. Also, the consumer perception problem we observed is that Magnum, a relatively new brand with weak beliefs, is placed in the chocobar category with established beliefs like low price, quick summer dessert, and meant for children getting activated. Owing to this clash and stimulus generalization, the category perceptions overpower the brand perceptions. We therefore propose to create a symbiotic perceived category for Magnum in India, centered around pleasure in the context of socio-cultural realities. So our campaign idea is centered around the Magnum moment of pleasure.
This idea needs to be communicated via our marketing mix and activations. First, we suggest to add new product variants like Magnum Strawberry White and Magnum Mini as strawberry, collective indulgence and gifting resonate with pleasure. To drive impulse for our target segment, we suggest building on existing channels and adding new channels that are pleasure touchpoints. It is key to have a separate cabinet wherever possible, placed away from other ice creams to avoid stimulus generalization. At other touchpoints, catchy posters can be utilized to appeal via the peripheral route to persuasion. Our suggested communication should focus on 1. Communicating the value proposition that beyond the world of right and wrong, there's a world. That world is Magnum. 2. Pushing for trials by strengthening category relevance and building loyalty. Media campaigns via TV, print, outdoors, digital will remind our busy, stressed target consumer about how Magnum provides instant and complete pleasure. Sales promotion campaigns focused on your Magnum lasts even after it's over will help drive repurchase. BTL activations in places like malls and multiplexes during weekends will help build the brand. We believe that with such value proposition and implementable solutions, we can help build brand Magnum in year 2 and also build communities.
We have a current proposition, you have a new proposition. What is the basis and what is the quantity? Answer it in one sentence, not more than a sentence. What is the basis that the second proposition is better than the first proposition?
In the Indian context, what we figured out was that the consumer, so while we did not evaluate the two propositions against each other, we understood pleasure in their context and catered our proposition to that.
So you said consumers perceive it to be an expensive chocobar.
Yes.
What is your solution to solve for that perception?
Given the fact that this is the issue, we would try to focus on, we give a strong reason of pleasure which resonates with the minds of the consumer, as in we've told about the socio-cultural reality, so that people start associating Magnum with something like a pleasure object. Now, something for a pleasure object, people are inelastic. They're ready to pay any price, no matter what the price is. And pleasure is also associated with adults. So there's not a mismatch between what Magnum provides and what our proposition is.
So what's the solution?
So the solution is that you change make Magnum stand for your Magnum moment of pleasure.
One of the things you've said is that Belgian doesn't matter, they should throw away Belgian. What should you said that?
No.
No?
Not
What have you said about Belgian? That it doesn't work?
No.
You've said that?
Yes.
What we said is, we don't throw it away, basically.
So we're not saying you throw it away, but Indian consumers still do not understand what chocolate stand for.
Belgian chocolate ice cream is not a strong enough purchase driver.
Yes,
so
because
we hide Belgian now. What do we do now? What do we do?
So
maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe you said no. There's no use saying Belgian because now there's money being invested in Belgian. So shall we just throw it away? And
so it started by the problem was identified when we asked consumers as to what chocolate stands for. For people, chocolate is chocolate, even it's for Ghana or from Belgium. Also, a secondary research supports that when Cadbury launched Oreo, they launched the bitter version of Oreo in India, and people eventually disliked it and debunked it. Indian consumers associate chocolate with sweet, whereas Belgian chocolate is not that sweet. And eventually Cadbury had to actually change the whole Oreo proposition and add more sugar to it, so that it starts resonating with the Indian consumers.
There are very few people who understand chocolate as a category. So there are people who are connoisseurs. They'll definitely understand the difference. Like my dad loves Belgian chocolate. So there are people who understand the difference between Belgian chocolate and the normal chocolate. But on an average, if you look at our entire target group,
going average, no?
No, we're not. I'm saying on average among our target group, people who we surveyed. So sir, just to give you an example, in India, what exactly is happening is that people are at a very functional level. So we spoke to consumers abroad also of Magnum, and the kind of response was entirely different.
It was very different.
And one key thing we could attribute this to is consumer connect. So the kind of responses we got from there is that बहुत सारी महंगी आइसक्रीम खा के बहुत अच्छा लगता है, literally quoting. So the kind of responses we get here is that it's an expensive chocobar, it's a wonderful ice cream, no denying that fact. It's creamy, it's chocolatey, but at the same time it just doesn't drive me, that it's not a sufficient purchase driver to shell out 85 rupees at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time for a short break. On the other side, our final two teams will take center stage and present their solutions to the case study by Magnum. Stay tuned.
Associate sponsor, Frederic Constant Geneve.
Welcome back. You're watching the semi-final round in Lime 6. Our second team today is Team Scoobies from IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome, guys. You know the rules. 3 minutes is all you've got, and then it's followed with a question and answer session with the jury. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now.
Every indulgence requires the arousal of multiple senses. Our objective is to use a perfect version of indulgence to convert first-timers into repeaters and repeaters into brand loyalists. Brand loyalists in the premium ice cream category are also early adopters and influencers. Magnum is perceived as low-fat, which adds its appeal to RTG. Now, let us take you to a mystical castle called the Magnum Mega, guarded by the Magnum Maestro. Here, every indulgence is magnified. Customers with their friends in tow are stabbed into the Mega. There are C-shaped tables seating 8 people each. Customers are served a glass of hot Belgian chocolate to develop an acquired taste. The Maestro walks in. He seems to know their preferences by instinct. His knife and fork go swish and swirl. He serves on a gilded plate a lot of stuff, in which is a Magnum bar. All 8 people at the table seem to have got very different dishes. The entire performance lasts around 30 minutes. After that, they enter a region full of Magnum goodies to choose from. The next day, they are pleasantly surprised to see their pics on the Magnum FB page, underlining Magnum shared delights, since social media is our primary source of information for RTG. The Dish and the Dance campaign, in which customers upload unusual videos of them preparing their favorite Magnum dish, is another instance. Daily Magnum Maxim, say 5 ways to make people smile, is also an example. We have also designed campaigns for recall, trial and repeat, that are the World is Full of Indulgences campaign, the Magnum is in Me campaign, and the More in Every Magnum campaign. Let us now move on to the execution strategy.
For year 2, sales promotion strategies primarily for brand switching need to be developed. A red carpet welcome for potential customers is thus necessary. A satellite hub and spoke model has been outlined for the same. A top-down approach is followed to create brand awareness that isn't automatically created by TV advertisements or product properties. Stage 1, the Magnum Mega. Magnum Mega is the showcase point of our brand. A Benihana setting even more so. The Magnum Mega will have a sphere of influence in targeted cities and will act as a hub for other distribution channels. The Benihana setting is a perfect example of capacity utilization and personalized service. The social setting fits perfectly with the outgoing, indulgent, flirty personality of our target group. It serves as a unique and differentiating proposition for sales promotion of a premium brand. Stage 2, synergic distribution partnerships. Partnerships with premier educational institutes, 4 and 5 star hotels, corporate and IT parks, major chains like Domino's need to be explored. Stage 3, the retail stores. Suggestive selling strategies for low involvement and impulse products works and can be utilized in the bottom 40% of the stores in the distribution network. The Magnum Mega store is financially viable and can also be used as a test bed to introduce newer varieties in the Indian market. Thank you.
I have two questions to ask you here. One is Magnum Mega. Those two words together, do they connote any sense of premiumness? I want to know that. Two is, you said partner with chain like Domino's. Yes. Is Domino's premium by any stretch of imagination?
So, for me, Mega is anything magnified. Mega, that's like 10 to the power 6. So, for me, Mega, the word connotes anything magnified. So
we have a Mega Mart, that is Mega, that is...
So, not the Mega Mart.
Premiumness come. Well, that's the closest context I see it every day. There are 100 Mega Marts in Bandra.
So, that is definitely not our idea.
Not your idea, how will the consumer perceive it?
So, maybe because we do not have Mega Marts in Ahmedabad, so that may be the reason why we couldn't find the connect.
That then. Tell me about Domino's.
Yeah.
Sir, so currently what you are seeing is our product, Magnum product, is very much visible in Kirana stores, the low end 40% that we have already mentioned. So what we feel is with a chain like Domino's that is very much predominantly present in tier 1 cities, that is very much spread out, this would be a more viable, more suitable option than the 40% bottom stores that we have.
Okay, the next question I'll ask, what is Domino's sales at on-premise and takeaway? How many people walk into a Domino's?
Yeah, that is true. So we have not focused on Domino's as such. We have only given an example of Domino's to just justify the retail food chains that are present in. You will have to shortlist every retail chain in different cities. You won't have a common retail chain for every city as such.
So, Domino's was just an instance. Probably options like Barista or Costa Coffee, something, not coffee per se, but something in that category could...
So, your problem definition is initially there's novelty wears off.
Yes.
And your solution is what? To keep novelty going?
Yes.
By having the Magnum store.
We need some justification to the indulgence that we'll be providing to them. So,
you think by having a kind of restaurant where Magnum is served, which is the kind of idea that you have, you'll create enough novelty among your friends in Bombay that they'll continue to have Magnum ice cream?
So, as of now, there is no store in Bombay or even in India.
No, one store will kind of solve the problem for us.
So, you can have, at least for Mumbai, what we felt was there were two prime locations like Pali Hill or Carter's Road in Bandra or Hiranandani Pawai.
Don't get specific. His
okay,
question is, will one store solve the problem?
So, it's...
two stores in Mumbai can solve the problem because you also bring in
How much will it cost?
Sorry?
How much will it cost these two stores?
We have
just tell me roughly. Then he'll give you that much money, solve the problem. No?
No, so we have given the financial analysis. It's quite viable. It's not
out of not viable. It's a valid question. How much will it cost in your view?
Sir, so what we are doing is we are keeping the fixed cost low. We'll have a...
Just give us a number, Don't give us
we'll have to take a loan of 90 lakhs.
So if I give you 1 crore of rupees tomorrow to open a store in Bombay for Magnum, will the year 2 problem of novelty wearing off be solved?
As per our analysis, yes.
But that's an easy solution,
Sir, it's not about any restaurant. It's about the Magnum Mega. Okay. And for what we perceive as the Magnum Mega is a store where every indulgence. I mean, if I ask you,
people will find the store novelty. Their product novelty would have still worn off. What is so novel about the product? The problem is that the Magnum stick loses novelty. I think that's a correct problem definition.
Yes.
By opening a store which a couple of thousand people go to, how does it solve the problem of novelty on the stick?
Because no two Magnum munchies, that's what we're calling the dish, No two Magnum Munchies are identical.
But that's only for the store. For the 5,000 customers in the store.
A few hundred people.
So
he needs to sell to a few million people. No? That's his problem.
Thank you, team. Time for another short break. On the other side, our final team presents and we find out which 3 teams make it to the grand finale of this mega marketing competition. Stay tuned.
Associate sponsor, Frederic Constant Geneve.
Welcome back. You're watching Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 6. It's time for the final team to make their presentation. Team Hullabaloo, who join us via video conference as they were unable to make it to our studio in Mumbai. Team, you know the rules. 3 minutes to make your presentation and then the question and answer session with the jury. Are you ready? Your time starts now.
From interviews with customers and managers at groceries and malls, we identified the drivers to premium ice cream as rising income in the 21 to 30 age group, including women, and increased tendency among the target segment to travel abroad and develop a discerning palate. We have divided our solution into the 3 areas outlined in the case. Trialists, the non-repeaters, stated 2 main reasons for not purchasing a Magnum again. 1. The taste did not meet expectations for Magnum Classic. Customers are drawn of rich Belgian chocolate, but most pick up Magnum Classic for their first try and come away dissatisfied with the plain vanilla flavor. We recommend having attractive illustrations on every Magnum chiller with emphasis on the dominant taste of each variant. Classic should focus more on vanilla than on Belgian chocolate. Customers who tried truffle and almond first, however, were more satisfied and purchased again. We suggest launching only truffle and almond in new cities and then introducing Classic once Magnum has carved a niche. Secondly, many customers in the target segment seek variety through new flavors or toppings or sundaes. Therefore, there is a need for Magnum to shift focus away from the dearth of flavors by providing variety through other sources. We took inspiration from Cadbury's Silk, which was able to add variety through personalization. Customers indicated that ice cream has a feel-good factor associated with it. Research has also proven that eating ice cream has a significant positive impact on the consumer's mood. Bringing these 2 together, we propose launching a My Magnum Mood campaign. Various positive moods like energized, serene and seductive will be printed on Magnum wrappers. Instead of just 3 flavors, the campaign aims to excite customers by allowing them to pick from among 20 different moods depending on how they want to feel. Moods to be printed can be crowdsourced through social media for maximum personal impact. For customers who are aware, many haven't tried Magnum because they think it's too expensive for the impulse category. They are willing to spend at parlors but associate impulse with 30 rupee cornettos. Here, they are sensitive to price but indifferent to quantity. Therefore, introduce Magnum Minis in India to be sold individually, priced around rupees 40 to 45. The third is that many people in the target segment are still unaware of. We suggest launching a Prolong Your Pleasure campaign offering 40% discount coupons to consumers at premium spas and salons. This will hit the bullseye segment and associate Magnum with the pampering and royal treatment given at such places. Finally, we recommend the following roadmap for year 2. Immediately implement the storyboards at chillers to avoid any further misconceptions about the various flavors. Launch the Prolong Your Pleasure campaign for a month starting February to exploit Valentine's Day related spa and salon traffic. As a side effect, this will also acclimatize the market to discounted Magnum. Once the promotion ends, introduce Magnum Minis to fill this price gap. Allow 6 months for the buzz from promotions and launches to fade before launching the My Magnum Moods campaign towards the end of 2015.
You know, you said that target audience awareness of Magnum is low, is not high. That's not our own understanding of Magnum, by the way, but I'm curious to know what is the basis for this? What is the target audience in your view, and how do you know that the awareness is low?
We didn't say that the awareness is low, so we divided our solution into 3 categories. So the first was trialists but non-repeaters, so that was our major category. The second was aware but non-trialists, and third was the people who are not aware. So there are people like that in Bangalore and Bombay. We've talked to people in Bangalore and Bombay who hadn't seemed to heard of Magnum. So these, I'm not saying it's a huge majority, but it's a small chunk of people who are still not aware of Magnum.
Yeah, and one more thing, so you have some estimate of how many people are there who are in the TG but not aware of Magnum, and is it worth going after them if the number is small?
In Bangalore, for example, we see a number outside malls and stores stocking Magnum. in this segment, there were people who frequent, Barbecue Nation as treats but hadn't heard of Magnum. So of about 35 customers that we've spoken to, about 1/3 had not heard of Magnum before.
And also the store managers also said, when we asked them who is it that generally picks up Magnum from the chillers in modern trade formats, so the store managers mentioned that it was families with kids who picked up the Magnum ice cream and not necessarily our target segment, which is why we said the target segment is less aware. So they said that as the parents are paying, kids are at eye level with the fridge and they end up picking back. So in the malls, in modern trade format, it's not really hitting the target segment.
Okay.
So in year 2, what would be your recommendation? Where should we be putting our maximum spends? Should we put it on generating awareness amongst these 1/3 consumers who have not heard? Should we spend it amongst the 2/3 who have heard, have consumed it occasionally? Or should we put it against those who are who like the product, who are willing to pay for it, but are consuming it less frequently? So what's your recommendation?
Okay, so we believe that the most important area are the people who tried it but did not like it. So these are the people who tried it once, did not like it, and are not repeating as customers.
Did not like it.
It's not they didn't like it, but they thought it was nothing extraordinary. So they came in expecting something rich Belgian chocolate. They thought the core would be chocolate, but they were disappointed to find a vanilla with just chocolate covering.
And one more thing, did not like it, not necessarily people who liked it, but did not think it's worth paying 85 rupees for a stick. So that's it.
I find you haven't made any mention, even a passing mention, of the role that the brand ambassador plays in this communication. Does she have a role to play, or is she completely insignificant?
Okay, so for this, so we've not overtly mentioned it, but one thing that can be done is the moods campaign that we suggested, My Magnum Mood. So there can be a parallel as in like the communication that goes out can be through the ambassador, that is Kareena Kapoor, because she would be good at representing the various moods that we want to portray. Also, one more thing that we've suggested is product placement in movies based on the lines of Ben & Jerry's and Salam Namaste. So something of that sort can be done
through Kareena Kapoor in some future work of hers.
With that, it's time for our jury to deliberate and pen down the results. Only 3 teams will make it to the final stage from here, and we'll know very shortly who those teams are. Got the results here with me now. I'm sure the suspense is really building. I'm not going to leave you all guessing any further. The first team that's made it to the next round with 21.2 points is Iconoclast from Micah. Congratulations. On the second position, there's a tie. At 18.3 points, we have Sopranos from SP Jain and Team Marketing Mavericks ISB Hyderabad. Congratulations, guys. Join us next week as we reach the climax of this mega marketing challenge. India has seen a whirlwind of activity for the Swachh Bharat campaign spearheaded by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And our top 3 teams will have to come up with a marketing plan to further this campaign and continue its momentum. Until then, from the entire team, many thanks for watching.
Associate sponsor, Frederic Constant Genève.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.